Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12.
In the local scene, the Albay Park and Wildlife Rescue Center in Bugtong, Legazpi City is promoting conservation awareness through educational visits open to the public. The facility serves as a sanctuary for rescued wildlife while providing learning opportunities on biodiversity and environmental protection. Visitors are introduced to conservation practices that highlight the importance of protecting natural habitats and supporting sustainable initiatives. The center also offers facilities and activities designed to enhance learning experiences and encourage responsible interaction with wildlife. The Albay Park and Wildlife is open daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to accommodate visitors. In other story, 225 residents in Bakakay received free medical and dental services from the Provincial Health Office and the municipal government. The outreach in Barangay Cabasan on April 17 brought essential health care services closer to underserved communities. 57 residents underwent dental procedures during the mission, and health officials said the initiative is part of the continuing efforts to expand healthcare access across Albay. A total of 168 individuals availed of the medical consultations. In other news, Albay 1st District Board Member Attorney Gina Marion Rubia de la Cruz joined as a panelist in the Sustainable Development Solutions Network Philippines Luzon Roadshow 2026 to discuss advancing sustainable development goals at the local level. The event featured a keynote address underscoring practical and people-centered approaches to achieving development goals through solutions rooted in local realities. Rubia de la Cruz cited her experience as a former Tabaco City Councilor and current provincial board member in showing how development goals can be integrated into governance through responsive programs and policy initiatives. She stressed the importance of strong collaboration among stakeholders to ensure effective implementation of sustainable development efforts at the community level. In the national scene, the Philippines' fuel inventory rose by 2 days to an average of 52.0 days amid the ongoing Middle East conflict, according to the Department of Energy. As of April 17, fuel supply levels were estimated at 54.47 days for gasoline, 50.13 days for diesel, 125 or 129.93 days for kerosene, 60.69 days for jet fuel, 78.87 days for fuel oil, and 40.26 days for LPG. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin said the increase, though modest, provides a significant boost to Department of Energy projections with stable deliveries and a noticeable drop in fuel consumption nationwide. Garin added that conservation efforts such as work-from-home setups and carpooling have helped sustain inventory levels, while the Department of Energy plans to implement a weekly Earth Hour every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to promote energy saving. In other story, the Commission on Audit said the total amount that may be returned by Vice President Sara Duterte and key officials of the Office of the Vice President could reach 448 million pesos after another 375 million pesos disallowance on confidential funds. In a notice of disallowance dated March 31, 2026, COA ordered Duterte and other responsible officials to personally refund 375 million pesos, representing 325 million pesos cash advances for confidential expenses incurred from February to September 2023. This is on top of an earlier 73 million pesos disallowance from 2022, bringing the potential total liability to 448 million pesos if upheld through the full COA review process. The audit found that the funds failed to meet rules under Joint Circular Number 2020-2015-01. Citing issues such as unauthorized handling of cash advances, lack of proof for operations, unsupported procurement expenses, and prohibited reimbursements. COA also identified other liable officials, including Special Disbursing Officer Gina Acosta, Chief Accountant Julieta Villadelrey, and VPSPG Head Colonel Raymond Dante La Chica, stressing that accountability is personal and requires full refund. The agency directed the officials to settle the 375 million pesos promptly, warning that failure to appeal within 6 months will make the ruling final under Presidential Decree Number 1445. COA added that the findings reflect a continuing pattern of misuse of confidential funds, with repeated failures to provide sufficient legal and documentary basis, raising serious issues of accountability and public trust. In other news, the House Committee on Justice is targeting to conclude by April 29 its impeachment hearings against Vice President Sara Duterte as it moves to determine probable cause on the filed complaints. Lanao del Sur Representative Z. Alonto Adiong said the committee is nearing the end of its evidence-gathering phase, with final hearings scheduled on April 22 and April 29. Adiong said the panel is expected to wrap up by the 29th before transmitting its report to the plenary when Congress resumes session on May 4. He added that the plenary will still debate the committee report and allow lawmakers to question the sponsor, Batangas Representative Jervil Luistro, before any final action. Duterte is facing allegations of betrayal of public trust, irregularities in confidential and intelligent funds, and other complaints related to her declarations and online statements against top government officials. And in the news outside the country, the People's Republic of China warned the Philippines, the United States, and Japan against playing with fire following the launch of their joint military activities. The Balikatan exercises officially opened this week with around 17,000 troops participating from the Philippines and the United States, along with other allied countries. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romeo Brawner Jr. declared the exercises open, saying it shows readiness and a strong commitment to act and defend together when needed. Partner nations including Australia, Canada, France, Japan, and New Zealand are also joining the exercises to strengthen multinational cooperation and defense capabilities. In other story, the United States government has reaffirmed its strong commitment to the Philippines despite global tensions, as the two allies formally opened the Balikatan Exercises 2026. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romeo Brawner Jr. said assurance came from U.S. Indo-Pacific Command Chief Admiral Samuel Papado Jr., who confirmed continued support even amid conflicts in other regions. More than 17,000 troops are expected to join this year's exercises, including around 10,000 from the United States, making it the largest Balikatan to date, with 18 observer countries also participating. Officials said the drills, running from April 20 to May 8 across multiple areas in Luzon and the West Philippine Sea, aim to improve interoperability, readiness, and regional stability through joint military operations and live fire exercises. And finally, in the news outside the country with reference to the Philippines, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration said a total of 6,532 overseas Filipino workers and their dependents have been repatriated from the Middle East as of April 20. OWA Administrator Patricia Yvonne Kuanan said the figure is based on data from both OWA and the Department of Migrant Workers, with nearly half of the returning Filipinos assisted through government-sponsored flights. In total, 5,172 are OFWs, while 1,360 are their dependents, with most returning due to conflict, contract termination, or medical reasons. OWA also confirmed an additional wave of nearly 700 repatriates expected this week, primarily from Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates, as part of the ongoing government assistance efforts. That's the news at 12, April 22, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our news writers, John Christopher Marinas, Naomi Ruth Hernandez, and LJ Lorejo. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And our Provincial Information Office OIC, Marty Gonzalez. And under the supervision of our Governor, Noel E. Rusal, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.